Ever notice someone dragging large black bags through the hospital lobby and wonder who they are? That, my friend, is a medical device rep. Welcome to Device Guys. Your hosts, Brent Lloyd and Jason Doliak, bring 50 years of combined medical sales experience to the table, sharing insights, stories, and a behind-the-scenes look at this fascinating world. Enjoy the conversations.
So you have this awesome career at Merit. You do the OEM stuff. We were talking earlier about kind of some of the opportunities OEM presented you with.
Yeah.
The relationships you've built and the connections you've made across industry. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most amazing things, is that I went to really all the key people in our space, from the pacemaker side, electrophysiology, the cath lab, interventional neuro. You know, I went across the country because they're all clients of Merit. You know, Merit's doing roughly $150 million in their OEM division, but all those products out to the market is north of $2 billion in devices.
Right.
That Merit is playing a key role in helping deliver that. So to go out to like Abiomed in Danvers, Massachusetts, and to go to Medtronic, to go to Boston Scientific, to go to Abbott St. Jude, to go to Penumbra, to go to Biotronic, to go to Cook Medical, to go to Biomet. You go to all these places. And what was amazing is when you would go into these amazing companies is how the internal marketing for those people that are coming in to work every day, Stryker here in Salt Lake City, that there was an absolute mission and vision around the patients they were ultimately serving.
That's awesome.
Right? That you go in there and you see, you know, at Abiomed, they have their training rooms are named after patients, one of which was a patient here in Salt Lake City. I remember seeing her name, about lives that you save. And so it's different than any other industry where, okay, I'm coming into a manufacturing job, but the company that I work for takes such amazing care of me, provides a great employee experience for me, but that we're connected to saving lives every single day. It's such an amazing industry, and to be able to see that on that scale was truly incredible. To go really to the major hubs, Boston, Massachusetts, Minneapolis, Northern and Southern California, also in Texas a little bit of
Indiana. There's a big orthopedic presence in Indiana.
Big one in Indiana, as well as Cook Medical, who really in the cath lab, interventional radiology spaces was just an amazing company as well. So you just get to see all of this, and you get to see just this relentless commitment to improve patient lives. And, you know, now that I'm on the insurance side, not only what Med Device does to save lives, they are also doing everything from an innovation standpoint to cut and reduce costs and hospital stays, right? When your focus is on saving lives and really going about doing everything we can to support the physicians, the nurses and the techs, the procurement, the hospital administration, to deliver the best value possible that will ultimately save lives and cut down costs. What medical device does and really doesn't get the credit of what it does to improve lives, save lives, but cut costs across the healthcare industry. Just think of the innovation going from the femoral approach to the radial approach. Now you're delivering a heart valve, and you're not cracking the chest, right? And you think of all the things that are happening, your devices on your side getting smaller, everything that's happening.
Lasting longer, more reliable.
Yeah.
We're trying to improve the ecosystem.
That's exactly right. And I believe Med Device doesn't get the credit that it deserves. And the physicians, I mean, that's what's amazing about the physicians that we call on. Like the fact that they're so open to improving their techniques and improving at the end of the day to get better for their patients.
I think that is so well said, and I think that when you say device doesn't get med device industry doesn't get the credit for. It's because innovation comes at a cost,
Yeah,
right?
it does, a big
There's
one.
a lot of investing that goes to bring something to market, and to have that something be, a life-changing, a procedure-changing, a paradigm shift, it's expensive. And the procedure is always way more expensive. But when you look at long-term costs, and we talk about population health, and these are all topics in insurance that you talk about, it's better for the system financially. But the reason I don't think we get the credit is because the initial upfront cost is always more.
Yeah.
And so you've got different interests in every hospital that are trying to drive what's happening, and it's an ecosystem. It's a balance for sure.
It is, and the amount of investment it takes to get a medical device off the ground, and the labor of love that's happening there. I mean, it's amazing that you can actually make a profit in some of these cases because there's so much pressure. These hospital systems have done an amazing job. I mean, you bring up Scott Allison. He was one of the best stewards and negotiators I've ever come across.
100%.
Right? And it was Scott always had, and there's many others, and we all ran the same territory. I mean, the people in this market, the talent, right? The physicians, the nurses, the techs, the procurement, the lab managers. I mean, these people they're at the top of their game. They never negotiated in bad faith, but there was just a standard and an expectation to deliver the absolute most innovative, best product that was going to be at the right cost.
Right.
It's just an amazing, amazing industry that really does not get the credit it deserves on what it does for the hospital system,
Right.
and most importantly for the patient.
Right. We're about at 40 minutes, I
Yeah.
think, right now, and we could go for another 40. I think just with your next chapter. Would you come back on?
Oh, I'll come back on. Absolutely.
Because you're a friend of the podcast.
I'm a friend of the podcast. I got to go back and see what happened, why we didn't get to the 90 hours.
Oh, yeah,
we didn't make 90. He had a goal of 100, but he didn't make that. He got mid-80s.
I got mid-80s.
Yeah,
86.
Let's take that flight to Houston today, and
and we might be able to tell some Jed DeVries stories.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
good Jed DeVries stories.
Or we pull out some Dr. Borman stories, maybe some Ed Miner stories. We start to pull it out. I've got some dirt on some people in the lab that are probably friends of the podcast. I would love to get into that stuff.
Let's do that. That'll be the next topic. When you talk about Ed Miner,
Yeah.
we're going to have Ed Miner on, but he was reluctant to come on because he wanted to see how it went.
Oh, that's right.
And
This will grease the skids for
Yeah.
Dr. Miner.
Jason says just good judgment.
It's good judgment.
Right, he's a smart guy.